Hi, I'm Nadiya Hussain. One of my favourite books is Roald Dahl's George's Marvellous Medicine. I think one of the reasons why I loved that book, and I still read it, and it still gives me I still get butterflies every time I read it, because it's something about George's bravery. You can tell he's petrified of his grandma, and there's something about his bravery that he's like, you know what, no, I'm going to do this, and something about his he was so mischievous, and the things he got up to. And I think that's every child's dream, is that when they read that, they wish they could be as brave as he was, and get up to all of that mischief. Yeah, I still read that, and I read it to my children. They always ask me, could we do that? I'm like, no, you can't do that. There is one particular book in our house that we still read. It's a tatty old book now, 10 years later, but it's Some Dogs Do by Jez Alborough. All children can go through a time in their life where they feel like they can't do something. And every time my children feel like that, I take the book out, because there's something about that book that just, you only have to read it to know what I'm talking about. And once you've read it, I think that's it. That'll be one that you'll have forever. And I think sometimes that's what a book or a story or a short tale can do, is give kids that confidence to say, you know what, actually I can do something. So that's one of our absolute favourites at home. So my new book is Nadiya's Bake Me a Story. Now this was inspired by my children. They are absolute massive readers, but they love cooking and baking too. And I figured, why not put the two together? I spent so much time in the kitchen, with my busy away in the kitchen, cooking, baking, and they would just turn up and say, Mum, could you just stop everything and read me a chapter before bed? And that's where it started. I thought, well, why not? Why don't we do a book that combines cooking and baking and reading all at the same time? And you know, it's a combination of fairy tales that I've taken, and fairy tales I figured were slightly grim. I thought, like, let's change these, let's modernize them slightly. So that's what I did, and within the story I've weaved parts of the recipe. So with each story you've got a recipe, and it's up to the parents, the children, how they want to do it. They can do the recipe first, do the story afterwards, or do the story first and the recipe afterwards, or in between baking and all the breaks you could do the story. So it's entirely up to you how you do it, but it's a good way, an interactive way of cooking, baking and telling stories. So summer reading challenge, that's something that I do with my children every single year. So I would absolutely urge you to go to your local library, go get 6 books and read them over the summer. It's the best way to encourage your children to actually, you know, if they don't like books or if they don't enjoy reading, it's a great way of going through the summer holidays and reading your books. So I would find your local library, get 6 books, and it's absolutely free.